Ciao ragazzi, CP here with another Juve Power News update. What have I got for you today? I've got news on Pogba potentially coming back to Juventus. I've got Allegri's plans to bring back the defensive wall, according to Giovanni Albanese. I've got news on Rugani. I've got news on Locatelli, and with that, I'm going to jump straight into that news. So here we go. Manuel Locatelli has made Juventus his priority. This is according to Romeo Gresti. He said it on live, and it's been reported by Max Statman. Thanks, Max. That's great. So what do we think about this? What do I think? So, look, we listened to Locatelli speak at a press conference not so long ago. He was talking about his, he's going to make his decision after the European Championships. What did I say at the time? I said I hoped that the deal had already been done, but was just being left until after the European Championships to be announced. And why would they do that? Just to take the pressure off the player, to take the attention off of him going to Juventus, and maybe help him to focus on the Azzurri, because it's extremely important. And we wish him all the best with that. So this kind of is a little bit in line with what I was thinking. To say that his sole focus is on Juventus, his priority is to Juventus. It kind of says that the deal is almost ready, and I hope it gets done. We need a player of his quality. So with that, I'm going to move on to Albanese. He's talking about Allegri's intention. Among his primary objectives of his return is to bring back the defensive wall. He says the record numbers of a few years ago have been shattered in the last two seasons by Sarri and Pirlo. Juve has lost the double leadership, so they used to lead in terms of goals scored and goals conceded, especially in the last season. Here too, Max's cure will be needed to find the lost identity. So he goes on to talk about the men. He says Chiellini's confirmation is the first step considered essential by the coach to restart from the experience, certainly in the locker room, but above all in the defensive department. Giorgio will probably alternate with Leonardo Bonucci so as to leave Matthias de Ligt the other position as an immovable owner. Fingers crossed he stays fit. The future of Merih Demiral and Danilo Rugani remains to be clarified. We have a little bit of news on that. The former would like to leave, so that's Merih Demiral, and will almost certainly do so in the face of a good offer for him for the club. So what are we thinking? We're thinking good offer, like 40, 50 million. He's a player with great potential, but what have we seen in the last year? He's been injured quite a bit in the last couple of years, actually. So his injury record isn't great. But more importantly, we did see a press release on his behalf saying that his agent was listening to offers, and that was as early as January last January. So what can I say? I'm sure that didn't go down well with a lot of people. I'm sure also a lot of people wanted him to stay because he's a player with great potential. But the thing is, we need to make money, and he has market value. So if we can find an offer for him, I'm sure he will leave. So what can I say about that? Yes, so I'm going to go on. I'm going to talk about Radu Dragusin. So Dragusin, Albanese mentions here, he will have strong consideration for next year. I personally believe if Rugani comes back, he's going to come back, his loan's going to finish. I hope we find a place for him. I think Dragusin has a higher ceiling. He could be a much greater player, and while Rugani is a good player, he's proven to be not up to Juventus level in the past. He had, he had a chance. He had plenty of chances under Allegri with Juventus, and he didn't make the grade. There's a reason why we sent him on loan. Even though when he moved from Empoli, we were all talking about he's going to be the next guy, the next big thing, but that never turned into reality. So for me, while we know Rugani isn't up to it, Dragusin has potential. Potential is better than knowing that the guy is not up to it. So I prefer Dragusin to stay and Rugani to go. That's my perspective on it. What else can I say about this? Danilo had a great season last year. He's certainly going to be involved this unit as well. He's shown himself to be extremely adaptable and in all positions. And also, it's worth mentioning the potential return of Andrea Barzagli to the staff. This could help Allegri bring back this defensive solidity. The BBBC, he was a strong protagonist in that defense, and to have his influence on the defensive system will it certainly will be influential. He was part of Sarri's team as well, but decided to leave. We don't know exactly why. I think he said he just needed a break, but we know Sarri didn't exactly implement the system that those guys, that Barzagli, Bonucci, Chiellini and Buffon had been playing. They changed the system. They changed the emphasis on the defense. And I'm not talking about Juventus becoming a very defensive team, and I don't think Albanese is talking about this, and I don't think Allegri will want this either. But how we defend, the systems we use, whether we defend as a team, whether the midfield covers the defense effectively, whether how they defend from corner kicks and set pieces. Is it a zonal system? Is it a man marking system? Is it a hybrid? For me, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. So that system worked for years. We were the best defense in Europe, one of the best defensive units that I've ever seen. In like 30 years of watching football. So why would you change? And look, Sarri and Pirlo both changed it. So for me, that was a huge mistake. We need to get back to that 100%. So I'm glad to see this being talked about. I hope Allegri's got this in his mind, and I trust Max Allegri that he's going to bring it back. So with that, I'm going to move on. What have I got here? I've got news from Mirko Di Natale. He's talking about a potential offer from Fenerbahce in Turkey for Daniele Rugani, which is great news. As I just said, I prefer Daniele Rugani to go, with thanks, and for Dragusin to stay. So remember, guys, Dragusin signed a new contract very recently, and his agent said at the time that they signed it with the hope that he wouldn't be going out on loan. This potential offer for Rugani would allow Dragusin to stay. Rugani, he had a half decent season, maybe. I don't know. I haven't been watching. So hopefully he's still got some market value and we can make some money from it. What else can I say? It's good news. I hope that develops, and again, what can I say about Rugani? He didn't make it, guys. He didn't make it. I don't know what you guys think, but I believe he didn't. He wasn't up to standard. So what can I say about that? I'm going to move on here. So what is this? Guido Vachago is talking about a swap deal for Cristiano Ronaldo with Pogba. So he says, basically at the top of the article, he says Pogba returns to Juventus only if Cristiano goes the other way. So going back to the top, he says the social exchange between Marchisio and Paul Pogba was a little indicator, but it wasn't enough. He says Pogba relaunches with another cryptic phrase, and the dreams of the Juventus fans soar. He says, I have 1 year left in my contract. Everyone knows I still don't have a concrete proposal to renew with Manchester United. We haven't sat down yet with the manager and management to discuss it, but I'm a Manchester United player. Now my thoughts go to Euro 2020. I am focused only on what is the present. Vachago says this could be a little tease to the leaders of Manchester United or to Juventus, just to let them know he currently doesn't have any deal. He says it seems to be the premise of a divorce to be consummated immediately or at the latest at the natural expiration of the contract in 12 months. He's got a year left in his contract. So he says Pogba Pogba comes to Juve only if Ronaldo returns to Manchester United. He says, in all this, what does Juventus do? Wait and watch with interest, but without particular agitation. Pogba has always been a player appreciated by the management, without distinction between Paratici and Cherubini, so both of them appreciated him, and by the presidency, last but not least by Massimiliano Allegri, who would gladly embrace him again. But at the moment, the Bianconeri do not seem in a position to attack a player like Pogba armed with only cash. An exchange is needed to bring Pogba back. He calls him the octopus, back to Turin. And the names that can warm United, albeit for different reasons, there are two: Paulo Dybala and Cristiano Ronaldo. If CR7 had found an agreement to return to United, and therefore United knocked on the Juventus door to get him, he would be asked in return for Pogba. An exchange that, given the circumstances, could be favourable for both. So what can I say? He says Dybala could go, but again, we know there are no offers. But critically here, he says if Cristiano had found an agreement in terms of contract with Manchester United, then they would have let Juventus know. This is conditional tense he's using here. So there's nothing concrete in it, but Facciago says this is the only way it can happen, either a Dybala or Cristiano Ronaldo swap. So if it's a Ronaldo swap, it's going to be money plus Ronaldo, because again, the value is going to be different. Cristiano's 36 years of age, Pogba is 28, I believe, 27, 28. So there's going to be money required, Do United fans want Cristiano? I believe they would. Would Manchester United accept him back? I'm sure they would. I'm sure he'd score goals for them. It would be tougher to play in the English league. But I'm sure it would appease the fans who are always kind of perpetually angry with the Glazers. And I certainly would love to have Pogba back in our midfield. Pogba could bring something fantastic to our midfield. The goals and assists, guys. If you look, even though he's been criticised heavily for his performances for Manchester United, particularly for the kind of the work ethic side of things, where he's tackling back, all of this, the running. If you look at his goals and assists when he's played, he's been fantastic. So he's still got that in his armoury. That hasn't left him. We know he's performed really well for France as well. He's won a World Cup, and they go into European Championships as arguably the favourites. So he hasn't lost it, and hopefully Max Allegri could get him working harder. I remember when he played with Juve, that was his biggest challenge, to work hard, to tackle, but his physical characteristics mean that he can do it. He's so big, he's so strong, and he can protect the ball quite easily, and he can reach those long legs into tackles that other guys just can't do, and I trust Max could motivate him to defend, to work as part of the unit. And with Locatelli, it could be very successful, guys. So would I swap Cristiano plus money for Pogba? I would. I see that as a decent deal. It all depends on the most difficult part of any transfer for Cristiano, which is to agree terms, to agree a contract with a proposed team. Who do we think are the most likely teams? Obviously Manchester United. They have the money, but it's it's a complex negotiation. What else would I say, or who else would I say? Maybe Man City or PSG. But we know we know they have the money. We know they're on the track of Lionel Messi, who looks likely to stay at almost certain to stay at Barcelona. So maybe they could shift their attention to Cristiano. So it's a dream. It's a dream to have Pogba back. Dream at this stage. There's nothing concrete, but obviously we're going to keep an eye on it for you guys. So with that, I'm going to thank everybody for supporting me. People are watching. People are giving the likes. Continue to do that, please, and subscribe. It's down the bottom right hand corner of the screen. hit that, or turn on the bell icon, give me a like, give me a comment on any of the news you've seen today, and I'll see you again next time. So when is next time? Later on, Italy v Turkey. We've got a live watch along starting at about 8 p.m. So if you want to join us on Twitch or YouTube, that'd be great. We've got Max, we've got Andrea, and myself, and we're gonna have some fun. Italy and Turkey are on tonight. We're going to support Italy, and even Andrea. So even if he says he doesn't support Italy, don't worry, he's going to support Italy. So tune in for that, guys, and it should be fun. It should be fun. So ciao ragazzi.